tonight. All right, so just sitting yourself sensibly there, comfortably, get anchored and rooted in to the seat bones there. Okay, I will move around a little bit on the mat and then up. So today we're looking a little bit at building a bit of resilience, some inner power, physically, mentally and emotionally. So just looking at those areas. Also the center, our navel center here, which is going to be our area for self-esteem, courage. You've got ego here as well. That can be positive or negative ego. So that's a really big seat for that. A wonderful place where the spiritual energy comes into the body as well through the abdominal area, through the navel center. And that's called Manipur Chakra. So it's one of the chakras, one of the 7 main chakras. So we'll look at that today, and that's also symbolized or associated with the color yellow and the element of fire. So I might talk about inner fire as well today, or Agni, and that's what that means, okay? So we'll get you sort of just settled first with that long spine and feeling nice and rooted through your seat bones, and just relax your shoulders. And just take your first couple of breaths in and out, just to get settled into your space where you are, just to begin to center yourself. And just take a moment to listen to the sound of your breath coming in through your nose. And feel the movement that it makes in your chest, your lungs, your diaphragm. And exhaling that sound out. And noticing how it feels when you breathe in, how uplifted you might feel, and how relaxed you might feel as you breathe out. And just think about that for a couple more breaths. Upliftment and relaxation. Now we're going to draw the breath to the center of the body. So bring your attention to the center by your belly button. Visualize the color yellow there. And just imagine you're being breathed in and out of this space. And as you breathe in, you are breathing in this yellow, this wonderful uplifting energy, this warmth and heat and power. And maybe visualize that yellow is swirling away in the center, so like a vortex of energy. And this is what these chakra energy centers represent. And it's the way our physical bodies and our energetic bodies interact like this. So we're not two separate things. The energies from our energy body come into our physical body to nourish us, to sustain us. And that's a magical thing, interwoven, not two separate identities, almost like a dual, a partnership. So if you can expand the yellow a little bit further, so maybe fill any tight spots in the body, creating some space wherever you've got any injuries or any niggly bits that are feeling uncomfortable. So just send that yellow into all of those spaces, filling all the voids, all the nooks and crannies. And how are we feeling in the hips? Are we holding on to the tightness in the hips? Are we clenching in the hips? Just relax the hips. Are we clenching in the jaw? Relax the jaw. And relax the shoulders. Relax the wrists and the feet. Centered, full of light and power. We just take a couple more breaths here. Maybe make those ones really count. Fill up the body with that beautiful life force. Releasing the breath out when you're ready. And one more. Make that diaphragm move. And exhale. Just relax back down. Well done. When you're ready, beginning to open eyes, just blinking softly, coming back to a normal breath. And just check in, how are you feeling now? Lovely. Okay, so we'll do a little pranayama practice called Surabhadenya, and this one is, Surabhadenya is for heat building. But quite a simple nostril breathing technique. If you, excuse me, if you have any issues with your breathing, whether you suffer from asthma, panic attacks, or you're just feeling a bit chesty at the minute, then just go back to some nice deep breathing, okay? Otherwise, we will bring the left hand just to rest on the top of the left knee in a Chi Mudra. So the index finger bowing down to the thumb, and the other three fingers are just extended away. And that's going to rest on your left knee. And then your right hand, you might have to release the left hand just to get your right hand into position, but that will be your left hand position. Right hand, little finger, just wants to go behind and tuck in to your ring finger there. Okay, the next two fingers, the middle and the index finger, are going to just come down towards the base of the palm there, just down towards the palm, and the thumb is going to stay out. So your right thumb is staying out and your ring finger and your baby finger are tucked together there. This is called Vishnu Mudra. Okay, Mudra is wonderful for energy seals, for bringing more power and intention to your work, whatever you're focusing on. And connects to all the meridians and things that we have in our body, the energy channels. So this right thumb will stay up at the moment, stay away from the nostril. We're going to bring the little finger and the ring finger towards the left nostril, and we're going to breathe in through the right side. So breathing in. If you don't have any issues with your breathing and retaining your breath at all, we close off the right nostril for a moment. So we're just holding breath there for a moment or two. If you don't like that, you could go and breathe straight out the left nostril. Then when you're ready to exhale, lift the baby finger and the ring finger away and breathe out through the left side. And then close the left side back off again. And we go back to breathing in through the right. So a big breath in through the right, either releasing out the left or holding. So you end up talking like this. And then exhale, I'm such a child. And exhale, release out through the left side when you're ready. And close again. We'll just do about 4 more of these, okay? So breathing in through the right. Close it off and hold it. Don't go blue. Release through the left. And I'm going to let you do the last 3 on your own, so you can choose your own pace on how long you want to hold the breath in for, okay? And there's no competition for who holds their breath the longest, okay? We don't want to be calling 999 or 111 even. Probably coming up to roughly maybe your last one now. When you finish your 3, just bring your hands back into your lap and breathe normally for a couple more breaths. Just notice how you feel, whether you feel any warmer. That's the channel for bringing heat into that side of the body. So we've got our yin and yang sides of the body, the cool and hot. the male, the female, the sun, the moon, all of those things, are balancing. And we need the balance of both for us to be in harmony and to be in homeostasis. So we're going to start doing some stretches now on the floor. So coming into your seated position that you're in, just sitting up tall with that spine again, and just bring your left hand down to the floor. We'll inhale as we reach the right arm up. I'm going to do that lovely lateral stretch. So we're going to reach over towards the left side there. Now, if you have a delicate back today, you may want to stay with that left hand where it is on the floor. If you've no issues, pull in through your pelvic floor, your Mula Bandha, hug your navel in and bring your left hand across to your right knee and just resist a little bit into that right knee. So you're almost pushing away from it, you're pushing into the right knee. Still in this side stretch. Beautiful. Exhale. We're going to bring that right hand down as the spine comes back upright again. And we've now got both hands crossed across our knees, opposite knees, crossed arms. Just reach to hold on gently to the front of your knees and then tuck your chin in, pull your belly button in, hug your pelvic floor in and broaden across your shoulders. So you're scooping that belly up underneath the ribs there. And then we're going to come gently back upright again through the spine. So nice and tall in the spine, drop the shoulders back. Right hand's going to reach down by our right side this time, or behind our right hip. Left arm is going to come around. We're going to come into a twist. So just looking over the right shoulder. Now the left hand can be over that right knee. If you're feeling a bit tight in the hips or knees today, you could just, or sore in the back, you could just reach a hand in the middle in front of you instead. And then you're going to bring that right hand back towards the left knee, so it's crossing back over. Left hand is now going to go behind left hip. We're going to look over the left shoulder. So we're just waking up the spine a little bit here, starting to rotate, to twist. And this is the one that's going to really help shift all the stagnant stuff, all these twists. So coming back to center with that straight spine again. This time the right hand's going down to the mat and the left arm is reaching up. And we're reaching over. Well done. And then if it feels okay to bring that right hand away from the floor, you'll bring it over to your left knee. Maybe we just drop the shoulders down a little bit if they've crept up. And then we start to come upright with the spine and bring that left hand to the right knee. So we're going to hold on to the front of those knees again. We're doing that little tuck in again. So tuck the chin, scoop the belly, pull the pelvic floor in, round through that spine. So curved spine, stretching out. So it allows all these energy channels to allow the fluids to move through the body and the energy to move through the body. And lovely. We're going to take the left hand behind the left buttock, and you can send your right hand beyond the knee if you want, or just on the floor in front as we take that twist. So just imagining your spine feels like a little spiral staircase when it's in this twisted position. And as you breathe in, imagine you're bringing breath in from the root, from your tailbone, and it's spiraling up that staircase. And you bring your left hand gently back across to the right knee. We release the right hand to come behind our right hip and look over the shoulder. So again, any neck issues here, just don't take the head very far. Just, you can keep your gaze at a slightly different angle. You don't have to take the twist too far here. And gently making your way back to center. Okay, so we're going to take the legs along the floor, so extend your legs and then flex the feet. So nice active legs here, so just feel nice and tall in the spine for a moment. Nice strong legs, all those muscles switched on. This is your staff pose, Dandasana, and you can have your hands here or on the floor. And just take a breath in and open across the collarbone there. Lovely. And now just, you'll notice the spinal extensors have to work quite hard. We're not used to sitting up in a really lovely straight position like this with our posture in our society, our culture. Okay, and just gently relax a little there. Relax the legs for a moment, relax the spine slightly. As bend in the right knee, and then bring that knee out to the right side. And just have that left leg still in front, right foot is tucked in by the thigh, or if that's more comfortable for your hips and knees, bring it a little bit lower down to the calf muscle. Okay. So from here, we will take a reach all the way up. So nice, big, long spines. So connect belly, pelvic floor here, make them work and make them support your back as you hinge over that leg, and just take that leg to the range, or sorry, take your body over the leg to the right range for you today. And remember, don't force yourself, you're just warming up the body. And you can stay here for 3 breaths, and you might find as you inhale, it's quite nice to lift the chest a little, and as you exhale, folding over that leg a little bit more, and just see if there's any more to give without force. Let the body naturally unfold. One last breath there. As you exhale, maybe just notice if it goes a tiny little bit further into the stretch, but just keep it at your edge. Inhale, we walk the hands slowly back as we stack our spine back up, vertebrae by vertebrae. So we're taking one more little twist here. We're going towards that right knee, the bent knee. Again, similar to the twist before, we're just looking over our shoulder, tall spine, hugging in the center here. Now we bring in that leg. I'm just going to change direction a little bit here so you can see. We're going to bring the right foot in by the side of the left leg. So we're going to do a half wild thing, but a slightly different way to the way I normally do it. So the right sole of the foot's on the ground. You don't have to do this as well. If you prefer to just stay in that position there, you can do. This is just an extra add-on. So we're going to bring the left hand down behind the left hip and use that foot on the floor as our leverage to push the hips up. And then you might find that to lift the hips a little higher, you have to perhaps come onto your toe mound and lift the heel there. And if it feels okay, you might want to just have a nice stretch with the arm. If that doesn't feel okay to go up or to take this stretch, then just stay where you were before. And it's only briefly, we're coming down again here. So just a slightly different variation on the way we do that normally. And then extend your left leg along the floor. And we're going to bend at the left knee now and bring that left knee into the thigh or the calf. Sorry, left foot, the thigh or the calf. I'm just going to come angle slightly. Okay, so we're back into that position again. And the left foot is against the right thigh this time. And we're tauling the spine as we reach up. Lengthening, sending our seat bones away as we reach over. Nice and tall through the spine there. And staying here for a few breaths. Again, hands, just relax the hands wherever it feels comfortable. Shin, floor, big toe. And just take your time with your back. If you need to stay higher because it's too much of a pull on your lumbar spine, then just stay a little bit higher up with the chest. So we'll do another breath here. And as you lift on this one, chest lifts a little. As you exhale, go over that leg. Just see if there's a little tiny bit more to give. And then begin to walk the hands all the way back up the legs. So you're nice and tall again. We're going to take that twist on the other side now. And again, imagining your spiral staircase there. And that beautiful energy, life force, nourishing you. Let's bring the foot back in to the floor. So left sole of the foot on the floor, right hand coming behind the right hip or buttock. We start to lift up again. So again, you can take the arm to the ceiling, behind you, whatever space you've got in the room that you're in. Well done. And gently making your way back again. Well done, making your way to the floor. Beautiful. So just relax both legs out for a moment in front of you. Give them a little shake off. And then we're going to bend at the knees and come round onto hands and knees. So just coming onto your hands and knees here. We want to just check in with the core again. So you want to be really lifting up that belly button towards the spine. The fingers are nicely spread. We're pressing through the backs of the knuckles and we're broadening across the shoulders. So we're going to add a little bit of work in here. It's going to be, if you've got any wrist injuries, just be mindful you can come back down to hands and knees. We won't be here long. We're just going to do about a quarter downward dog. So just lifting the knees away from the floor a little bit and lining the shoulders up with the wrists, hugging the belly, hugging the pelvic floor in here. Still trying to keep that tabletop there if you can. Keep your head in line with your spine. Lovely. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go straight into downward dog. So straighten up those legs. That's it. That's nice to get into downward dog now, isn't it, after doing that one? And just take your seat bones high up and far behind you. Really spread through the fingers, pressing into the thumb and index finger and drawing your inner arms as if you're turning them outwards or towards your ears a little and broaden through the shoulders. Take a pedal here to have a nice little stretch, and you can take it as fast or slow as you want to get that stretch in there. Well done. Okay, so from there, just dropping back to knees one more time. We'll go back to down dog in a moment. But I'd like you to extend your right leg behind you. And we're going to have a go at lifting the opposite arm. And if that feels too much for your wrists or your balance, you can keep your hands down and just keep the leg lifted. So the leg's only going to be in line with the hip. You're not arching the back to lift that leg high, okay? It's just one long line. Head's in line with the spine. Wrists in line with the shoulder, and we're reaching left arm forward and right arm behind. So try to imagine you are lengthening through the body here. So this is looks really easy, but actually can be quite hard work, this one. Okay. Just one more breath in that position, and then we're going to take it into bringing the knee and the elbow together. Now, if you've got both hands on the floor, you just bring your knee into your nose, okay? If you've got your left arm lifted, we're going to bring the left elbow and the right knee in towards the middle. Squeezing in the belly there, and then extending away. And just doing this 2 more times. And last one. Hugging in, big, big squeeze. And then extend the arm and leg away. Now bring the left hand down to the floor, but take the leg, the right leg, behind the left leg so that you've got a nice straight right leg and you're pressing into the toe mound there. And you should get a nice little stretch into the calf there. Okay, and then bring that leg back to center. So we're going to do the same on the other side. Now it's going to be the left leg that's going to lift and the right arm. And again, you can still keep the right hand down on the floor if you want to and just lift the left leg. Again, lengthening, again, hugging belly in. Again, trying to keep the hips nice and level. So keep your big toe pointing downwards on that extended leg. 3, 2, and 1. Let's start to bring elbow, knee together. Or just bring the knee in if you've got both hands on the floor. And use your breath as you inhale to squeeze in the middle, exhale to extend away. Lovely, and then bring the arm and leg out and just lengthen them for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower the arm and the leg back down. Sorry, the arm back down and bring in the left leg behind the right. So taking a look over that shoulder at your opposite foot. You've got a tiny little bit of a twist here as you look over that shoulder. So you'll be looking over your left shoulder at your right foot. Just one more breath there. And we're going to come back to hands and knees, to tabletop, back to down dog. So take yourself back to down dog. Anytime down dog feels too much, you can come back down to hands and knees or have a little rest in child's pose. So we're going to bring a low lunge in a minute. If you need to cushion your knees, just make sure you've got whatever it is you use to cushion your knees nearby. And from your down dog, lift your right leg behind you. Nice big lengthening a three-legged dog there. And then bring the knee through towards your nose and start to look at your hands and step that foot through between the hands. Your right foot comes and is framed by the hands at the front here. We're going to lower the left knee down to the mat. We're switching on our inner thighs here so they're active, and then lifting those arms up away from the mat. Again, so a nice big stretch here. Just try and lengthen through the fingers. Drop the shoulders, open the collarbone, and maybe if it feels comfortable, perhaps you sink into the hips at the front a little more, if that feels available, or you can open up into a tiny back bend there if that also feels nice. Okay, wonderful. We're going to take the last breath here and then bring the right hand just to reach either just below your left buttock. So right hand reaching to left leg. Now this is just going to add a little bit more of a stretching, and I'd like you to reach back up with that left arm. And so we're not necessarily going into a back bend. You can if you want to, if it feels safe for your back, but it's more about the reach, the stretch here. And you'll feel that in the arm and down the front of the body. Lovely. Exhale, bring the hands down. Now, if you want to add an extra bit on here and you don't have any knee issues, but I still recommend you folding your mat or putting something under your back knee. I do. I've got bony knees and I like a bit of cushioning. So if you want to add this on from your low lunge, you could lift your left foot at the back and reach your right hand around and hold on to the toes of the foot there. If that feels not comfortable for your knees, it's too much of a strain, then leave it out and just stay in the low lunge. And wonderful. Wherever you are, we're going to relax that leg back down to the mat. And this time, just lifting your back knee. Your left knee is just lifting this time. So now you're in a runner's lunge. So in this position, we'll stay here for a couple of breaths and we'll add a twist in a moment if it's suitable for you. Extend through that back heel, so that back leg's nice and straight. Now, if this feels too much for anyone, got any hip issues and you're feeling it, come back down to that low lunge again, okay? And then from here, we're taking the right hand, bending at the right elbow and placing it on your left hip. So I'll just turn round in case you can't see. So it can be on your left hip, or you can reach it up to the sky. Okay, so you're having a little bit of a twist here. So hug the belly in when you're in this twist, and maybe just feel, if your hips don't feel aligned, slightly draw your right hip crease back. And you're still straight through that back leg. And exhale, bring the hand back down to the floor, bring the knee back down to the floor. Okay, beautiful. We're going to sort of sit back towards our left heel now to straighten out that hamstring a little bit. So coming into a straighter leg at the front. If your knees don't like being completely straight, keep a little bend in and just lift up through the chest and take a fold over. I tend to do this on my fingertips with my fingertips spread, but if you've got blocks there, you can do a block, is really nice. If you have things for both hands, that's really lovely. And draw that left hip back slightly to get that stretch into that right leg. Sorry, right hip back slightly to get the stretch into the right leg. And beautiful. Bend that knee. Bring your hands back to the mat, the front of the mat there. Lift your back knee.
step back to your down dog. And notice how you feel in that leg. What difference is happening there? So take a little pedal here.
And then when you're ready on your next inhale, you're going to lift the left leg now. We'll do that same sequence again. So left leg's coming up behind you. You're going to reach it back, a nice big three-legged dog. Knee comes towards the nose as you hug the belly in. Look at your hands, press away from those hands. Step that foot through and just help it get there. So if you need to drop your back knee and hold on to your left leg and give it a little walk through. And then drop your back knee anyway when you get into this position. We're coming into the low lunge and Dandasana. Once you're in position here, taking a breath in, switching the inner thighs on, bringing the torso up, bringing the arms up. Nice big stretch, drop the shoulders, lift the sternum, lift the heart there. Option to sink forward more if you wish to into the hips. If you're not feeling too tight there, just listening to your body, always that inner voice. Oh, Liz is joining us. Hi, Liz.
I'm so sorry. All wrong. I was trying to get into the next meeting, not this one. I'm so sorry, everyone. Thank you.
You're here. That's all that matters. You're here. Just warm up gently. Just join us in. Join in when you're ready. Okay. So from this, I just saw your name there as I come up to the screen. From this low lunge here, we're going to take the, forgot my leg we're on now. The left leg, left leg coming through. We're going to take the left hand towards the bottom of that, top of that right thigh, or just underneath the buttock cheek there. And then we're reaching up through the arm. So reach up. Nice big stretch. Again, doesn't have to be much of a back bend at all, just a nice big stretch here. And if your fingers feel okay, and you can reach a bit further with that back arm, you could even walk that back arm a little bit, fingers down the leg slightly more. Okay, and then releasing the arm back down. So again, if you want to do the bit where we bring the knee in, you're going to reach back with your opposite hand, your right hand, and you're going to hold on to that foot. Now that may or may not suit you. So you're pushing away with that foot into that hand. Lovely. So last breath there. Start to let go. If you're holding on to the foot, let the foot release, let the hand release. Come back with your palms to the floor. Lift your back knee away from the floor. Now we're coming into that twist again. And runner's lunge first though. So activate the inner thighs. Make sure you're roughly stacked up with the knee. Draw left hip crease back if you need to here. Really switch the inner thighs on for a little bit of stability. Start to send the left hand to the hip, and your gaze can stay just looking along if you've got any neck issues. Otherwise, you could turn the head maybe upwards towards the ceiling with your gaze, and you could reach your hand up towards the ceiling as well. Liz, just take it gently, okay, because you won't have had a chance to warm up, hun. Okay, well done. Release gently back down with the arm and the leg. Lift that, keep that back knee lifted and step back into your down dog. And a little here. So you'll notice tonight I'm not doing any sun salutations. I just thought I'd like to do something a bit different for a change, because I get bored easily. So, okay. So we're going to lift the right leg now. You'll notice quite a lot of work is to do with the core today and the twists, and that's because we are working with that inner fire in our center there, our Manipur Chakra. Let's bring the knee to the nose again, like we did earlier. Again, this can be done on hands and knees, so if your wrists are getting tired, come down to hands and knees and do this. So we're going to lift that leg up. It's coming this time into the middle towards the nose. We're squeezing the belly in, we're hugging it in. We're going to send that leg away. If it's available for you, you bring it towards your right elbow. We're pressing away from those hands still. And then send it away. And then on your next one, bring it through and coming across towards your left elbow. Okay, again, if this gets too much, you can do everything from hands and knees. Okay. And once you're at your left elbow, you're going to extend that leg back again behind. And then bring it all the way through again, bringing the foot back to the front of the mat between your hands. So quite a lot of hard work here, bit of core build up, bit of heat. Let's pivot the back heel down and rise up. So when that back heel comes down, the toes are sort of at a 45-degree angle. Your front knee is facing forward and we're coming into warrior two here. So I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit again. You can see when I'm standing up. So warrior two, right arm forward, left arm behind, pulling up through that lovely center channel there again. That energy center all the way through that column of energy from the pelvic floor all the way up through the crown. So just staying here, feeling anchored through the feet, feeling balanced through both feet. Take some nice big deep breaths in, or do Ujjayi breath if you're used to Ujjayi. Breathing in through the nose, just constricting a little in the back and breathing out through the nose. 2 more breaths here. Last one. This is your place for courage and strength. Your warrior poses are wonderful for this. Let's begin to turn the front palm. Bring the left palm down towards the back of the thigh, or option to do a half bind and wrap it around the waist towards the hip crease on the right leg. When we lift this arm, I'd like you to imagine you're pushing away all those irritating things that just really get right on your nerves. Just push them out of your aura, out of your energy center. Take a little look up at that hand, drop that back left shoulder, feel a stretch into the right side of the body here, the right lung. Your feet are working, your core is connected, so pelvic floor and core. Strong here, you're working on those meridian lines up the inside of the legs, your kidney meridians here. You're working in the side body and your gallbladder meridians. Really getting the energy flowing, lots of spaces here, liver meridians as well, through the feet, up through the groin, the liver, the kidneys. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, belly comes in again. We're going to be reaching forward as we press into that back edge of the back foot. We're going to come into our extended side angle. So hand can rest on the hip if that's enough for you. We're going to lift up a little bit on the underneath the oblique. So we're not just having a little rest here, you know, with a cup of tea. We're going to just lift up a little bit out of that underneath the oblique as well. Then your arm, your left arm can reach up to the ceiling if you wish, behind you or over by your ear. And imagine switching on those legs. So switch your glutes on a little bit here. Feel that work as well. Pull in the pelvic floor. Feel the pubic area work there. Feel all nice and strong and safe and stable in your pelvis and your hips. Too much for anyone? Just come out at any time. Last breath here. Begin to drop that left arm down towards the floor. Begin to lift your left heel and let it pivot up. So the left heel is now facing the ceiling and the toes are facing forward. Right hand is going to come to the floor as well, outside of your right foot. Step your left foot in a bit. And then if it's available for you, you can use books, blocks, whatever under your hands here, or come onto your fingertips. Draw your right hip crease back a little bit to square off your hips. You're in pyramid pose here now. We're going to hinge over that leg if it feels comfortable, and then relax the head. If you do tend to hyperextend in the back of your knee when your knees are straight, just keep a little tiny micro bend in there.
Well done. One more breath there. Now we're going to add a twist into our pyramid here as well. Again, options to leave that out if you wish and stay just in the pyramid pose as it is, or bring your right hand, keep your inner thighs switched on, bring your right hand to that hip and just look at your right shoulder. Again, neck issues, you could just keep the head down or towards the side. And then also if you want to, you can lift that right arm up towards the ceiling. If you've got any shoulder injuries, just rest that hand back on your hip. So lots of twisting here. We're really shifting all that rubbish out that we don't want. We're building that strength and resilience, and we are nourishing our energetic bodies here with that life force. Let's bring that hand gently down. Take a bend in your front knee. We're coming back to down dog. I don't normally do this many down dogs in a class. Bring yourself back into your down dog. It makes a change from planks though, doesn't it? Planks and sun salutations. We're having a variation today. Let's lift left leg now. We're going back to that knee to nose. Again, if this is too much, come to hands and knees. Hug the belly in, bring the knee towards the center, towards your nose. Press away from the backs of those hands. Send that leg away. This time it's going to come towards your left elbow. And this can be done on your hands and knees. Really work that core. Help it. Pull it in. Send it away. Lengthen that leg behind you on the last one. If you can, you take it towards your right elbow. And send it away. Leg goes back up behind you. Then it's going to come into the nose again. And then we're going to step the foot through. And we're back into warrior two again, okay? So once your foot's come through, pivot on that back heel, rise up. I'm just going to turn around in a second so I'm facing the same way for you to see. And back in warrior two we are again now. Shoulders, extend arms, pull up through that core. Maybe just adjust your hips, perhaps your left hip crease comes back a little now. Line up that ankle and knee. Find your drishti, your gaze, just look beyond that middle finger. Well done. Nice, keep a nice, strong connection in the core and the pelvic floor, your Mula Bandha, your Uddiyana Bandha. Last breath there. Make it a good one, lengthening that spine. Begin to drop right hand to back of right thigh, front palm turns up. Up we go, we're pushing away the stuff we don't need. Maybe we look up to the hand or maybe we keep the gaze forward. Open up into left side of body, gallbladder meridian. Stacking ankle over knee. Just stay here, use your Ujjayi breath if you wish, or some deep breathing here. One more breath. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Press into the back heel, back edge of back foot. Start to pull the belly in, pelvic floor in, reach forward. And bring the left hand down towards the left thigh. Right hand can go on right hip, or send the arm all the way up or over by your ear. And any of you wishing to take this further can come down off of that thigh where the forearm is, can always bring the hand to block or floor. Another option, keep strong in those legs, guys. Really keep connected from the inner thighs there through the pelvis and the hips. The glutes might switch on a little here for support as well. Who likes to do a bind can give it a go. If you're used to doing that, take your left arm under, bring your right hand behind. Once the fingers are connected, open up that top shoulder. But just if you're used to doing that in your practice already. Okay, wonderful. So whichever version you're in, We're going to bring that top arm back down towards the floor. Let your right heel pivot up so the back of that heel faces the ceiling. Left hand now going to come onto the mat as well. We take a big step in with that right foot. And you need to be able to feel you can straighten both legs. So if you can't, it might mean that your stance is too wide. Draw your left hip crease back. Maybe come onto blocks or fingertips here. Take a breath in, nice long straight spine, and then exhale, release over that leg. Find that nice stretch in that hamstring there. Again, just being mindful for backs. So anyone with a sensitive back, if this feels too low a fold, bring your hands a little bit further up. If you haven't got any blocks or anything like that, you can bring your hands further up your front leg to support you. As long as you're not pressing on your knee joint, either keep it to the shin or the thigh. So still here for another breath. We're going to take a little twist in it now. So left arm now going to reach up or rest on your left hip. While you're reaching that left arm up towards the ceiling, keeping that left hip crease pulled back gently. Opening up through the chest there. Last big twist there. Exhale. Release the arm back down. Take a bend in your front knee, and this time step the right foot to join the left at the front of your mat. Let everything hang here. Just hold on to your elbows. Make your weight in your feet nice and even, so keep the weight evenly between the toes and the heels. Just let everything hang here. Just let your head hang, your shoulders. Allow the weight of the top half of your body to bring your spine a little traction alongside gravity. Nice stretch out the spine here. Again, if the back is sensitive, you keep the hands a little bit higher up the legs. Wonderful. Take a little sway from side to side. And then from this position, we're going to well, depending on whether you've got any injuries in the knees or anything, if you have any issues in the knees, you could literally just step back onto your knees. So you could just come down onto your knees like this. Otherwise, and you could do a few cat-cows there. If no issues in your back, come up onto your tiptoes a little here. And then from your tiptoes, start to just slowly bring the hands into prayer. So you're having a little balance here. And then maybe just lift the chest as well, hugging the belly in. So you're coming into a toe stand balance here. So this one tests the balance a little bit. Okay, well done. And then from this position, continue to lower back down through it. Now, if you've got bad knees, they'll get a point to where you'll think, no, my knees don't like that. If that's the case, just put hands down and step back. Otherwise, coming down into the toe stand. And maybe just staying here, if it's agreeable for you, into a toe stand balance. Okay. Now, option here to try a slightly different version is to bring the knees wide and the heels together. And then maybe start having a little balance. I'll just bring my camera down a little bit again so you can see. And if that doesn't suit anyone, you can come into your Hindi squat. So you could bring your heels down to the mat or put a rolled blanket underneath them if the heels don't come down flat. And you can come into your Hindi squat here. So that's another version. So you can either stay Hindi squat, or you could take it in a wide, like a frog leg kind of toe stand. So just last little balance there. Well done. Just a different variation on it. Well done. Okay, guys, let's bring those knees together. Oh. Now, if any of you are used to doing a balance pose called crow pose, Bakasana, and you want to give that a go, you can do that. If it's not in your practice,
we can have a little go at just doing part of it. If it doesn't agree with you because of your wrists or anything, I can show you a modified version on your back on the floor. Those of you who already do it normally in class can just go ahead and do crow pose, but you've got to make sure that you don't let the head relax. You've also got to make sure that you've got plenty of mat or cushioning in front of you, just in case you lose your balance. And those of you that haven't done it before, you plant your palms and spread your fingers, and we're not going to do the full version with you. We're just going to do a little bit of prep work of it. You bring the knees up, so you bring the bottom up and you draw the knees behind somewhere on the tops of your arms, and then just come to balance here. Don't lift the feet if you haven't done this before. Just come to see where your backs of your knees reach on your arms. So just testing it out. You may even come up onto a tiptoe and lift one foot. But it's all about just seeing how it feels. You've got to pull your pelvic floor and your core in. You've got to keep your head, don't let your head roll like that, else you'll definitely tip over. So just getting a feel for what it feels like if you haven't done it before without lifting the feet. Okay, and if your wrists are sore, then you can do the same thing on your back. And you could just bring your knees wide, press them into the back of your arms while you're lying on the floor, and you just press your palms up to the ceiling, and you'll get some deep abdominal work there. So that's the version you can do if your wrists and shoulders don't like it. Well done. And if you're used to doing it, then and lifting your feet up, then have a go. Otherwise, if you're new to it, just keep the feet on the floor or only lift one toe at a time. Well done. Nice one, Anne. Some of you I can't completely see. Charlotte, I think you're probably doing it, aren't you? No, but you know what, you look like you were. From my concentration was there. Well done. Okay, guys, whichever version you're in, we're going to make our way out of it now. Good for having a little go. It is a bit more difficult to do it when obviously with you, which is why I didn't want you to lift your feet if you hadn't done it before, because I need to be with you for that unless you're used to it. Okay, so from here, just coming into a puppy pose, we'll bring the knees in line with the hips and we'll walk those hands forward. So it's a nice big stretch out now. We're going to add one more little twist into this. Hug your belly in when you do this as well, especially if you tend to be a little bit delicate in the lower back. And if this feels too much for you, you could just go into a normal child's pose. So you could bring your bottoms to your heels and come down into child's pose if that's more comfortable. So just taking a nice stretch through the sides of the body there and through the tops of the arms and the shoulders. Nice breath in. This is called heart melting pose as well in yin yoga, or puppy pose, Utthana Shishasana. I've got this beautiful, my neighbour's black cat's just having a little wander around my garden, probably spraying everything as it goes. Do love a black cat though. Okay, let's begin to lift the chest a little, just to make room for you. So you can bring your right arm between the gap between your left knee and left arm. Send that right arm through. So we're coming into a puppy pose with a twist. And there's some variations on this. So that right arm can come through and you're getting a good stretch in the right shoulder. Left hand could be extended up by your ear or bent at the elbow. You can take it around your waist if you wish to and lift the left shoulder. You can even lengthen the left leg across the floor, along the floor, or you can take the left foot out to the side. So there's just some other variations for you in this stretch. Have a play. Do what feels nice today. If you haven't done something, maybe try something slightly different version of this. One more breath there, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So just as you exhale, bring yourself back to center. Slowly draw that arm out, using your other hand to lift it up a bit. And then send the other arm through. Doing the same thing on the other side. So puppy pose with a twist, with your left arm coming through now. Again, options to take that top arm in front by the side or around your waist, and options to straighten your right leg. Wonderful. Just two more breaths there actually. We'll take 2 more breaths. And when you've finished your last breath there, we're going to get ourselves ready for relaxation in a minute. So begin to bring yourself back up to hands and knees, and then walk your hands back. Come to just sit on your heels here. If you find that really uncomfortable to sit on your heels, just pop a blanket or something between the thighs and the calf. And we're simply just going to do a couple of little stretches here. So first of all, let's take one more side stretch, one more lateral stretch by reaching right arm up and just reaching over to your left. So just giving us some last little stretches before we finish. Exhale, we're going to bring that arm back down. Inhale, reaching your left arm up and reaching over. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling quite warm in the abdominal area, and I probably haven't done as hard as work as you. You've been doing more than me. And exhale, bring that gently down. So we're going to add a little back bend in here. So options to bring hands to back of sacrum, draw elbows together, shoulders together, lift the sternum. If you want to take it back a bit further to the floor, you can. Hands can come to the floor, or elbows or arms can come to the floor. So just take whichever variation you want. It's a variation on hero's pose, Dandasana. Whatever feels safest for your back, your body today. Getting the last little stretch of those spinal extensors. And then slowly begin to walk the hands back in towards your side. Bring your chest back up gently. Just drop the chin, relax the shoulders. And let's take a little slide over to one shoulder with the chin. And then back through the center and over to the other shoulder. So just do a couple more of those, loosening out any last minute tension in the neck. And just finishing off gently on your last side now, and coming back to the center. Once your chin's back in the center, just lift your head back up in line with your spine. So now's relaxation time. All that hard work has paid off. You get to relax a bit now. So popping any layers on, oils, candles, blankets, whatever you feel you would like. Make yourself comfortable. Any music that you've got. I did recently join Spotify, so I must have a little look at putting together some playlists, and then maybe I can send them out to you and you could play those if you want to in the background. So I can't have any music here because it sounds distorted for you guys, you hearing at the other end. So I can't really play any music in the background, but you are welcome to. So when you're ready, just get yourself into whatever is your comfortable position. Maybe you are in your corpse pose, fully lengthened with the legs a little wider than the hips and the palms facing up. Maybe you want to take yourself to the wall, bring your right hip to the wall and swivel your legs up and do legs up wall pose. Maybe you've got your knees bent in the middle and your feet out, or maybe you've got your feet together and your knees out wide. So come into your position of comfort. And then when you get there, gently close the eyes. begin to settle in. Just take a moment to think about your wonderful body and how you've worked quite hard with it tonight. Some strong poses, some strong twists, and a little bit of core work thrown in as well. So you did quite a bit of loading, quite a lot of strength work. I'm just feeling thanks to that beautiful body and that life force that enables you to move, to go from place to place, to achieve your goals. Just constantly propelling you forward. Giving thanks to that wonderful breath that comes into the body, the life force within you, all of your internal organs, your energy channels, your beautiful bones, those muscles, tissues, and all the building blocks of your cells. As you breathe in, just breathing in gratitude, and as you breathe out, breathing out relaxation. So each time we breathe out, let the body just settle and sink into the floor. Let every part of the body soften and just feel nurtured and safe. Just bringing attention to each of your senses, being aware of them. Sounds you hear, smells, tastes, things you can feel beneath you. And your inner vision, whatever you can see behind your closed eyes. And drawing your attention back to your navel center. I'd like you to visualize your breath coming in from the tail of the spine. Imagine it the color yellow and making its way up to the navel center. And as you exhale, I'd like you to imagine the energy coming from your crown down to your navel center. So breathing in from the root to belly, breathing out from crown to belly. So the energy is flowing from the earth, from the universe, meeting at the center of your being, filling you with life, purpose, love, everything you need. And continuing with your focus on your breath there for a couple more breaths. And then allow your breath to fall into your own rhythm. And just visualize the color yellow or the color of the sun. And allow that color to fill your very being on every level, through every dimension. Time, future, past, present, filled with this beautiful energy to strengthen your resolve, your self-esteem, your courage, and to get you through any troublesome times. It's all there within you. All you need is to tune in when you need it. I'm going to leave you to lie there quietly for a couple of minutes and just
absorb the energy and absorb how you feel, mind and body. I'll call you back. Inhaling now, gently noticing your breath back, coming in back through your nostrils now, Noticing your senses, your sight, your sound, your taste, your touch, your smell. Beginning to breathe in deeply. I'm just going to sing a little chant to you, and I'll sing what it is as well in the English translation. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Joytir Gamaya Mitoma Amritam Gamaya. Lead me from the unreal to the real, from darkness into light, from death to immortality. Om Shanti Shanti. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Begin to deepen breath. Begin to wake your body back up. Move those fingers, move the wrists, move the ankles and the feet. Take a big breath in, begin to stretch and lengthen those arms. If your legs are up the wall, then just stretch your arms and lengthen your spine. If your knees are bent, maybe lengthening all the way through now. Big breath in with the arms extended. Really feel the lungs and exhale. Let it all out through the mouth. Let's sweep the arms back up one more time. Inhale, fill the body with breath. Exhale. Let go of all stress, tension and worry. Gently begin to bring the arms by your side. Either make your way to one side or hug your knees in and roll and rock, whichever is your chosen way of gently coming back up to seated position. When you get there, just give your hands a little rub together, bring a bit of heat in. Place the hands, one on heart, one on belly. Take a big deep breath in there. Feel the warmth, the heat you've created. You are a creator. You are a manifester. Just feel that warmth, that power. You have your own healing touch. People think it's a gift to be able to heal, but anyone can do it. Just tuning in and feeling that true connection and compassion through your heart. You can heal yourself, you can heal others. Now bring your hand that's on your belly to your heart and just cross them both there. And just saying a little affirmation here for yourself before we close. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am enough. I am more than enough. And one more. I am enough. I am more than enough. Bringing your hands together in prayer, knowing that you have practiced today, your commitment to your practice, honor yourself for that, honor your inner power, your inner light. Until I see you again, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me.